Government is important. I am Cynthia Wagner. I'm currently a student at the Miami Valley School. I'm taking Government and Speech with Mr. Squires, and our assignment was to talk about why government is important. Government is the institution through which a society makes and enforces its public policies. Government is made up of those people who exercise its powers. All of those have authority and control over people. Now, these people have authority, for instance, the Senate, the president. All of these people put laws in place to help out Americans, and essentially, these laws prevent us from falling into anarchy. And if we didn't have these laws in place, people would run rampant over society. This kind of compares to like a country without government is like a kid without stability in their household. A kid with no rules and no curfew is like a government with no laws. The people do whatever they want, and people are selfish and people are greedy, and the world would be a very scary and very unsafe place. Now, a kid who has rules in their household is like a government that has laws. They're going to be more successful, they're going to be safe, and that essentially is what government does for us. It helps us become better people, it helps us stay on the right track versus letting us run wild and do whatever we feel is right, no matter if it's going to hurt other people or not. Also, government helps support those who can't support themselves. Like, government tries to help people through welfare. So welfare pays for healthcare for those who can't afford it, and healthcare is very essential to living a healthy life, and it helps keep us alive. And welfare helps pay for schooling for people who need a better education. If people without welfare, there could be millions of people out there who can't afford a good education that really could help our world, that really can make a difference, but they can't get the schooling that they need because they don't have the money. And welfare essentially helps them get on their feet and get on the right track. It gives income to the unemployed while they're looking for a job, which is essential for them to survive, because without that income, they can't buy food, they can't support their families. Another reason why government is important is it helps pay for necessities that we take for granted. Even though taxes suck and no one wants to do taxes, no one wants to pay for taxes, they're necessary because they help pay for public transportation, for foundations supported by the government that really help us Americans, and it helps pay for roads, it helps pay for, everything. Without taxes, we wouldn't have roads, we wouldn't have buses, we wouldn't have homeless shelters and things like that. And that's really important for our American society. Government also helps pay for jails and institutions. These jails keep us people safe from people who make poor decisions that could put us in danger. And without these jails, you can imagine how the world would be. It'd be full of crime and murder, and it'd be a scary place, and not a lot of people would want to be here. And so it really helps protect us from those who may harm us, and it also helps them get back on the right track while they are in jail. They have programs to help them better themselves, and they're essentially, the idea is they're supposed to come out a better person. By keeping a fair and healthy government, as the United States attempts and tries their best to do, it prevents a putsch, which is a violent attempt to overthrow a government. Government helps regulate a lot of things. It helps regulate school systems, it helps regulate taxes, speed limits, the age of drinking, the age of smoking, the age of voting, which is an essential part of our government. This age of voting helps make sure that voters are mature enough to make educated decisions that will affect our country. government also regulates the age that you can drive. Imagine if we didn't have an age that you could drive. Kids would be driving around at 10 years old, and that would be extremely dangerous, as you can imagine. It helps regulate a curfew for minors to make sure that we're not all running the streets at night. And it also helps regulate when we go to war and with who. Some more things it regulates is censorship of media. It helps regulate green cards, and it helps. They have the ability to alter laws whenever they feel is necessary. Um, Government is very essential to our well-being, and without government, we would be a very corrupt country. People take for granted the fact that government helps educate people who can't pay for a better education. They provide public education, and you know, everyone should have the right to an education. Everyone should want to better themselves to become a successful human, and just really the government's trying to prepare our youth and protect our country, and just trying to make us better people that can make a difference in the world. And I really think that people take for granted the fact that the government isn't always the bad guy.